The hatches are open. Fuck, that's one of ours. There's some sort of energy reaction.
All right, good morning, everyone. Morning, Eamon. Long time no see. It's been a couple days. Hope everything's all right. Hope everything went okay with your appointment. Not sure what kind of appointment it was, but that's private, so. All right, let's see here. Is this working? Okay, good. Well, I don't know if you can hear, but I got a little bit of a frog in my throat. Everyone in my house is fighting off a head. Right now, I have a head cold. My wife is, she's a little bit more sick than me. She's getting achy. You know, when you have kids, one kid gets sick, and then it just slowly moves throughout the house until everyone is sick in overlapping fashion. So that's what's going on here. Right now for me, it's just a head cold. So the rest of me feels fine, but, you know, congestion and stuff. So you guys might have to put up with that. We are well into a hard mode playthrough. Just to catch you up. I haven't been playing this 100% on Steam because stream, excuse me. We just did this, so I decided I was gonna do hard mode both on stream, but also play it on my own just to kind of speed things along and give my thoughts here and there. So this is not a full playthrough, and it is harder. It is much harder, but I still have issues with how that difficulty plays out, which I can explain more later, but I gotta turn up my volume. Oof, sorry, man. Yeah, that's rough. It's just like, I guess you don't think of it as a kid when you come home and you're sick. Like, you just give it to everybody else. I'm gonna try to turn off the mic if I have to, like, sneeze or cough or something, so if the mic doesn't come back on, just, you know, remind me. Or let me know. I'm going for 100% all scans, all that fun stuff, so I don't think I've missed any I am a little concerned about, where is it? Silux forces. I'm missing 2. I'm wondering if there's a kind of space pirate I missed at the beginning. I could be wrong, but I'm not gonna like restart if I don't get it. The goal is to beat hard mode. 100%ing everything is just a bonus. I like where I'm at with this game right now is it has a base level of fun. But I think after this, I don't know if I'm going to play it again. Unless they come out with some sort of DLC that makes it worth it or changes things up. I don't know if I'll play this again. I also don't know if I would recommend this. Recommend this game. There's just too much wrong with it on a fundamental game design level that it's like, if you want a game like this and you're like newer to video games, go play Halo. Go play Halo 1, 2, and 3. Much better sci-fi story. Much better linear gameplay. And if you want a better Metroidvania, go play Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. Much better Metroidvania. You know, there's the only reason I could see to play this game is that it looks really good. I don't think that should be controversial. I think anybody saying that this game looks good is a bit more debate brained when it comes to praising this game. They don't really want to say anything good about it. But again, you have Metroid Prime Remastered, so you could play that as well. It's like when I played Echoes of Wisdom, like I'd give that game like a 7 out of 10, and it's worth playing because it does something new. It tries to do something new with the echoes. You play Zelda for the first time, so I would say, like, yeah, go play that game. You might really like it. I had some problems with it, and I probably won't play it again. But this one, I'm just like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth the money. Funny thing is, I'm pretty sure the guy that was sick got it from a flu shot. It makes me wonder how much flu season is due to people trying to avoid getting sick. Really, well, I'm looking forward to your 2-hour deep dive review of Metroid Prime 4 and what went wrong. Indeed, it does look decent enough. Yeah, you know, I mean, if you really want to, borrow it from a friend who has a hard copy. Like, I said it last episode, there are moments that if you take them in isolation, like, this game is great. Like, in isolation, like these tiny little bits. And I'm excited to actually do 100% because I watched, or rather, I listened to a lot of reviews of this game. I'm gonna be talking with Zeltroid next week and Nerdy Neo and some of his friends about this game next week. So I wanted to kind of get a good idea of what people are saying about it, because, you know, oops, they might point out things that I missed. Not so that I definitely have my own opinions on this, but I watched a lot of reviews on this game, and just getting an idea of, like, what people think about it, and nobody is really bashing the visuals. Nobody's saying this game looks horrible. Did I save? I wasn't paying attention. I'll save again. I did save. Sorry, you have to watch this again. Most people generally agree that the boss fights are the best aspect of the game, but I think that that's only because the bosses switch things up in contrast to the enemy set that is pretty lacking. And I tend to agree with that, but I do think that the bosses, the only downside of the bosses is that they're a little bit bullet-spongy. Which, again, isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially on the normal difficulty. The normal difficulty, I thought they were slightly bullet-spongy. In hard mode, they are incredibly bullet-spongy, and I almost wish they had taken a bit more time to fine-tune hard difficulty. You know, it's fine if you want to jack up how much damage they do to you, but if you also jack up how little damage you do to the boss, then it can make the bosses feel like more of a slog than an intense battle. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a podcast. These were videos people made. I just did. I searched for just Metroid Prime 4 reviews. That's all I did. And I listened to them on 2x speed because I want to have a good base of, like, people pointing out different things and everything like that. And most people didn't. The biggest issues were, of course, the Soul Desert. Did I scan that yet? Yeah, the Soul Desert was a big issue, and the structure of the game. You know, the annoying like how you felt about the NPCs. People were more willing to kind of like overlook it, because yeah, it's like games have annoying NPCs sometimes, but that doesn't wreck a game. Like what wrecks a game is the structure of the game and the gameplay. And the structure of this game and how that structure affects the gameplay and how you move throughout the game, that is the biggest problem. I did see a few reviews, not many. I did see a few reviews saying that this game was like a 9.4, like a really good game. I noticed that people who thought that their analysis was pretty shallow. Like it was, they would say like, oh, the bosses are great, and then they mention like one or two bosses, and then that's it. Or like they'd hyper focus on the music and the visuals, which kind of tells me that they're more focused on the cinematic aspect of the game than they are the actual gameplay itself, which, coming from someone who's like an amateur video game critic, that's a little concerning if more and more younger players are expecting cinematic experiences over quality gameplay. Oops. Okay, good. And like I'm one to like, and a lot of the positive reviews too, they really hit on that. They gave that like disclaimer where it's like everybody can have their own opinion, everybody's happy, and you know, these are just opinions, just to kind of like, I feel like, hedge themselves, rather than a lot of the negative reviews were like, no, this game's bad. And they like weren't afraid to say it. And I'm if I had to like assign a percentage value to how I view that, it'd be like I'm like 70-30 in the like, no, put out your opinion and be willing to like put a stake on it and be like, no, this game is bad for this reason, and back it up. There are some subjective there's some subjectiveness to this. If you prefer linear games, or if you've never played a Metroid game before, then you will give this game a higher score for sure. But even that said, if you compare it to other linear games like Halo, you will find that there are still some big issues with this game, with the combat and everything like that. I mean, sorry, what I'm going to do. I am an amateur, so I'll try to hope that doesn't discourage you from from talking to me. I am not a video game designer. I've never designed a video game. Only like little hobby games. Like I made my own version of Asteroid on Game Maker through a tutorial, or like a platformer, things like that. My main motivation of studying video games is more video game design philosophy. I've read 2 books on the matter, and the rest I've studied on, you know, video game channels. Rules of Play is a book I'm halfway through, so about 350 pages in. It's much more on the video game design philosophy. Basically, what are games and why we like them. It's really you learn a lot. I feel like you can learn a lot about what people, how people think, and even how to interpret the world around them by studying game design. I actually think studying game design philosophy lends itself well to, this is going to sound weird, but if you are, if you favor the intelligent design view of the world, and you study game design philosophy, you'll find that there's some really interesting overlap between designing an effective game world and some theories about how the world, reality itself, is structured. So anyway, that's a topic for another time. Yeah, until I start getting paid for this, then I will be professional. I'll be a professional amateur game critic. Morning, Zeltrade. It's good to see you. I didn't say good morning. I felt bad for not greeting you properly. Something I did think about. I was playing this last night. My wife was sick in bed and fell asleep, so I was playing video games. Hard mode is hard. All right, if you're in a conflict with multiple enemies and you lose control for just a second, they will drain your health real fast, and especially when you run out of ammo, the ammo you need. Like, these guys aren't much of a problem, but you know. So I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I go back and find some more pickups. And I thought about this, and I was like, okay, well, right now the only place I can really pick up different things are the areas I've been, and I could go back through the Fury Grove, or I could wander the Soul Desert for pickups. But then even that, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this multiple times if I want to pick up progressively pick up upgrades at the time I can get them. Like, I'm gonna have to zigzag through the desert to make sure I get, unless I know it and I can look it up. But because of how linear this game is, like the same, I don't know, the same is true for other Metroid Primes for sure, but I do feel like the backtracking in this game, which is this huge, biggest flaw, through the Soul Desert is so, it's just so uninteresting after a while. Like, it's fun for a little while, but the thought of going through the Soul Desert and finding pickups, and then half of them or more than half of them are ones that I can't get, and then I have to go back and do that again, was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I almost did it just before the wolf fight, because I died during the wolf fight. But then no, I tried again and I did it. I figured it out. I don't know how, but yeah. So now I'm gonna push on until I'm gonna see how far I can get. Hopefully I won't get stuck. I want to get all the beams, and then I'll go on my marathon through the game. I won't be able to get everything, obviously, because I won't have the power bomb or anything like that. But I want to have as many pickups as possible before I go into the mines. Just because I feel like that Omega Griever fight is going to be a real pain in the neck. I remember this puzzle. People are saying the Volt Forge, again, a lot of reviews said that the Volt Forge was their favorite area. I think for me it's this one. yes, it is linear, but like it's also the biggest. And there are on each floor there's a little bit more backtracking and wandering around and finding the different things like that. So I think this is my favorite area, and it has like that feel of like what's going on, like figure it out, that kind of thing. Do 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 do. Yeah. Zeltroid says, I think once Prime 2 Remaster drops, people will look back on this game and be like, ooh, this is why people hated Prime 4. I actually have to think of Prime 2. I'm really glad I played Prime 2 before before I played this game. Because that definitely gave me some a refresher. And like even before before I started playing today, on my little intro video where I play clips, there was a clip from Metroid Prime 1. And I was like, man, that was such a good game. I need to play that again. Uh-oh. Plug it in, plug it in. Do 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 do. What's this? It's offline. Gotta scan everything. Don't know what's part of the scans and what isn't. Because they didn't color code them. And I'm like constantly thinking about like, what are some things they could have done differently without changing too much? What would have been really cool is you had the Soul Desert, but then when you go down into the shrine, that's like an entry point for another biome. So like there's a cave system underneath the Soul Desert where you could pick up pickups. Maybe they need to do like a Metroid Prime 4 Master Quest. Excuse me. Oh man. Music picks up. Oh, this sounds exactly like Halo. Oh man, I gotta replay Halo 1. The Maw, that last stage. Ugh, that is peak gaming. Peak FPS sci-fi adventure gaming. The final level of Halo. Zeltroids, I'm gonna make a video called how I would Prime 4 with Prime 5. How you make Prime 4 with Prime 5. I'm gonna focus on the story mostly, and I have a lot of thoughts planned about already. I'll let you know if any suggestions. Oh, how I'd fix Prime 4 with Prime 5. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that too, and I don't know how to do that without not retconning, but without like someone commented when I was complaining about the ending, and they were like, they could have just made Samus like pound on the force field once when her friends were sacrificing themselves, just to show that she didn't want to make them leave, or like make a voice say like, structure will destabilize and destroy everything, or something like that. Which made it seem like she's in a position now where she is literally the only one who can escape. So it makes sense that she would hit the button. Just, that would be like the slightest retcon they would need to do. If they didn't want to do a retcon, they would need to like open up with Samus reflecting on her time on Vuros and throw in some more like her remembering each, like a conversation with each of the characters, and how they recognize that Samus's mission to preserve the memories of the Lamorn are more important than getting home. Because someone pointed out that someone pointed out to me, they were like, or they tried to point out, I think they were wrong, that the troopers knew the mission Samus had, and it was more important than them getting home. But I don't see that. You could make that argument that it is more important than the lives of 4 random troopers, but the story didn't do the job to set that up. What was communicated to me about the 4 troopers was that they were all eager to get home. And then they're just willing to give that up for something I'm not sure they fully understood. I wasn't convinced that they fully understood what Samus had to do. Yeah, there's that one scene at the very end, just before the final fight, where Duke they seem to see that Samus is upset about not being able, failing the Lamorn. But throughout the game, they're all talking about getting home. And reflecting about home, and then they give that up for something I don't think they fully understand. So there would need to be a story element that convinces me they understood the mission that Samus was on. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. Electric. Oh yeah, so I stopped my thought halfway through on something. I tend to do that. One of the other positives about this game that people were saying was when you go back and 100% the game, and you go back into these linear biomes, some of the puzzles that they have you solve to get the power-ups are actually pretty fun. And so I am excited to do it, to do that, to go back and find all the pickups and, you know, get my own take on it. But that's kind of what I think where this game shines is in isolation. Like if you were to just isolate those puzzle boxes from the rest of the game, or the graphics from the rest of the game, or the combat or the boss fights from the rest of the game. Like there are some I would consider nice little story moments that do happen where you can listen to your team's conversations. That was like, okay, good, put that in, but then fix everything else around it. I don't think that those are highlighted very much. Usually the reviews I found were, like, even the ones that were more positive, had a lot to say about the negatives. Yay. Gonna need that. I'm so freaking tired of the arguments. Seriously, like who screwed themselves over a group of living Federation troopers who saved Samus. Wait, are you saying that's like that is actually a good argument, or that isn't a good argument? Like, we should care more about the Federation troopers, or more about the Lamorn? Because I don't think they set up the Lamorn really well either. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about what you said right now. Okay, yes, I agree. Yeah. The whole game is set up so that we care about all these characters, and the Lamorn are just in the lore. And see, that's the problem when you like, I cared about the Chozo in Prime 1. We didn't see any Chozo in Prime 1 except for their ghosts. I cared about the Luminoth and their struggle in Prime 2. And not just because you see them, you see Umath and everything like that, but also because through their lore, the way their lore is communicated, you read their private journals and their struggle against the Ing, and it's epic and it's awesome. And should be its own game. I want a game where we get Metroid Prime, the Luminoth Ing War, because it sounds like the way that some of the logbooks are written are just so awesome. Like, I cared about that. But as soon as you enter in NPCs, part of writing a good NPC is getting, like, especially a protagonist NPC, is getting the player to care about that person. And it's like, because they're so much more in your face, to get you to care about both the plight of the Lamorn and the Federation troopers is really hard, because the Federation troopers' plight of getting home is going to overshadow the plight of the Lamorn, which is what I felt throughout the game. I felt throughout the game, I knew that there was, like, I didn't even remember what was in that green thing. There was, like, I knew that, I read that there was a memory fruit and what I should do with it. But the whole game, because I'm interacting with these troopers who are constantly talking about getting home, that's what I felt like my main objective was to get home. It's terrible when people act like the memory fruit is more important than the lives of the trooper. It's just nonsense. No one cared about the Lamorn until they forced us to their planet. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Those squids riding around on their motorcycles with the only factory we come across is to make motorcycles. Like, what was the purpose of those motorcycles? Why did they need them? Did I miss something in the lore? So they get across the desert?
I'm not sure what's happening. This whole facility just went into lockdown.
To rescan everything. This one's open. Ah, the sound. The sound tipped me off. Oh, I can't do it yet. The nice operatic music lends itself well to the Metroid series. Alright, this guy needs to chill a second. Let me scan you. Hang on. Frostburn Griever. I didn't know that was his name. Okay. Just chill, dude. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of shots. But I did find the charge shot for the fire blaster. The charge shot for the fire shot. I did find that, so I think I should make use of that. Alright, come here. Line up, please. Everybody line up. Come and get me. Oh, okay, are you serious? Wow, these guys take an obscene amount of shots. Yeah, at least they get stunned a little bit when I burn them. I'm already almost out. Excuse me. Being sick is not fun. Zeltroid says, remember when Samus was originally sent to Tanimar, she was sent to protect the artifact and save the Federation outposts. Lamorn were essentially a side quest, who became a main quest because reasons. Did you guys see the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson? And like at the very beginning, the bad guys, they steal something and they and it's a device, and literally it stands for something. It's an acronym, but it's like it spells out plot device. That's the artifact. And of course, there are people speculating about like why Silex was there, and there's other Lamorn who escaped. There's like apparently 12 of them who escaped. Okay, I can get that, yeah. And so they think that because Silex knew about the artifact because he ran into one of the Lamorn who escaped, and that when he shoots at Samus at the beginning, that he's actually aiming for the artifact, which to me doesn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. Ah, you serious? Now I have to rescan everything with the power on. I don't know if I have to rescan everything, but I'm terrified of missing a scan. Ow. Probably be shooting these boxes. Yeah, so it looks like when it comes to the differences between hard and easy mode, or hard and normal mode, I don't know if the number of enemies has increased. I don't think they have. But they definitely jacked up how much damage they do. They jacked up how much damage you do. Sorry, they jacked down the amount of damage that you do to them, or jacked up their health. And they decreased the drops you get. Like, some of these boxes, you blow them open, and I feel like there's less of them that have stuff in them. Which, I question that decision. Seriously, go attack that thing. Don't attack me. Do what you were designed to do. Man, they really need to make missiles stronger. It's just worthless trying to use missiles against these guys. Good shot ammo. Should not have jumped down there. Gosh. Well, he's moving pretty quick. I have a feeling that the fighting with that fight with Takabi is going to be really, really annoying. Looks like the shots do maybe some DPS, which is helpful. So if I can like spread it out among them. Excuse me. The little noise for the Grievers is... As I'm playing through it, like, the first encounter with those Cybots in the Forge was insane. Like, that was too difficult. But I feel like as this game goes on and you have more ammo to work with, like, the difficulty will settle into what I think it should be. That's my feeling. Like, I don't know how the mines are gonna go. We'll see how the mines go. But I definitely want to get as much ammo as possible before going in there.
Oh no, they're in the wall.
missiles do have a little bit of use. They do blow them back. And you can stun lock enemies with them. That's good, I guess. Helpful. Metroid Prime opens as Samus playing a simulation, a video game made by some fans of the Federation. Your sidekicks and MP4 are there. Self-inserts. Then really blows up the building. Fire script writing. Yeah, it was a dream the whole time. Here's a question. Should we be done with Ridley? At this point, he's died many times, and it's assumed that he's dead for good. But it's Metroid, so who knows? I don't. Yeah, he's become like. Okay, so like Mario is iconic in our world. Zelda and Link are iconic. Samus is lesser iconic, but within the Metroid universe, Ridley is iconic in the Metroid fan base. So I don't know if I'd complain. He's come back so many times. It's kind of, maybe it's become like a running joke in the series. So I don't know. Maybe do like some like hint at his return somehow. Build it up, you know. Something when I watched your video on the Nintendo interview. Something that did worry me was the fact that Metroid Prime 5 is not really in development right now, which kind of tells me that if they wanted this to be a trilogy, they didn't put in the groundwork to actually finish the story. Which means that unless they do some really good script writing, it's possible that, oh look, he's actually helping me. What a nice little, oh no, go fight the monster, not me. Unless they do some really good script writing. Yeah, you're a nice little guy. Ow. Unless they do some really good script writing, it's some of the, like, any plot twist that links back to this game might feel a little contrived. It's kind of like it's somehow Palpatine has returned. it's that kind of stuff, you know. It would be like Ridley was pulling Silux's strings the whole time. You know, it's like when there's nothing in this game to hint that Ridley is here anymore. That's the problem you can run into when you want a trilogy but don't actually write the first entry of the trilogy with the last one in mind. Okay, I'm feeling better about the missiles, guys. Yes, it sucks that they can get blown away, but at least I can, if I time it right, I can put some distance between me and them. Blows him back. Give me pickups. Of course, I only have 17 missiles, but you know, whatever. Stop giving me health. And also, people were really complaining about the final fight. I don't know how you guys felt, but I didn't find it too difficult during that fight to keep the troopers alive. You know, it's questionable whether they helped me or not, but that to me wasn't the biggest issue. I don't know. It didn't bother me as much, but people really didn't like that. Apply some DPS. finish him off with the Psy Blaster. Yeah, see, it does damage over time. That's nice. Okay, a little secondary effect there that I didn't notice the first time around. That's nice. Forget which way am I supposed to go? What is this? Oh, I don't have the magnet ball. Oh well. Alright, here we go. I really hope there's a checkpoint they give me.
Samus, you made it. Let's take
Did.
care of this.
Yeah. I feel like I need to stay with him, otherwise he's gonna die. Where is he? The fire really does slow him down, so that's good at least. Yeah, whoa. Okay, so far, not too bad. Oh man, these guys really go for it.
Acquiring the target.
I do really wish that there was a there's a dedicated missile button. Like in the other games, missile was always one button.
Got one.
So you could very easily like shoot an ice beam and then shatter it with a missile. Here you have to swap. You have to swap it out. That would make this part or combat easier, I think. Because I really want to shoot him with... Oh, that wasn't too bad. It was okay. That would make it a lot easier to
Solid work, Samus.
make use of your missiles.
Back online. Feels like the heat.
Time travel. Yes, time travel fixes everything. Whoa. What's wrong with my controller? That's the gun. Oh, it's a healing pod. Samus finds the Master Sword. Boom. Complete retcon of MP4. Just like they did with Breath of the Wild. Don't get me started on that. More so Tears of the Kingdom. In my opinion, my humble opinion, Breath of the Wild is a better game. Sorry, I mean... I don't know how to say this properly. Tears of the Kingdom... The fact that Breath of the Wild exists makes Tears of the Kingdom worse. And I enjoyed Breath of the Wild more than Tears of the Kingdom. Even though, technically, mechanically speaking, Tears of the Kingdom is pretty impressive. Alright, hang on. Am I supposed to talk to him?
You'll need to take the elevator down
Okay,
to the lower levels.
doesn't he? Oh, he's gonna go in the healing thing. Okay. Risa Tabata has some great quotes about isolation and labyrinth level designs being essential. She seems to get it. Kensuke, on the other hand, was basically behind every bad decision in the game. That's so disappointing, given what he's worked on in the past. You think MP5 is coming? It's starting to look like the sales of MP4 actually did pretty well. And think about it: why would they promote Risa to lead the? That's a good point. Why would they promote Risa to lead the Prime franchise when they're not planning anymore? That's a very good point. And it's like, I want there to be more Metroid Prime games, because now there's just an opportunity. The bar's pretty low, guys. Can't get much worse than this, you know? Or it would be hard to top this with regards to how the issues with this game. And like, I've never worked at a development studio before, so I don't know how much like reviews affect like subsequent games. Okay, what are we doing here? It cannot be moved. Scanning.
I tried to open that gate, but it won't respond. See anything?
That's because you needed this.
That did the trick. Opening now. Happy hunting.
I really need to watch that video. Dude, the Concord debacle, that needs to be studied in game design schools. There should be a whole course on what went wrong with... Oh, I forgot. I gotta fight a boss now. There should be a whole course on game design. Why Concord failed. Or why games fail. I remember this being my least favorite boss from the last run. Ratos. Crustacean. Does shooting it in the eye actually do anything? That's what I wonder. What is the point of this? Why? Okay, I guess it gives me more ammo. See, every boss has its own shockwave thing. This is pretty unique. I like that. Like the spiral shots going out. And the ones that bounce around, so that's pretty cool. What does that do? Does that do anything? So he does this. Come on. Okay. Alright, just gotta do that about 4, 5, or 6 more times. And this is also a unique attack, okay. I'm just trying to, like, see what critiques people leveled at the game and if they're valid or not. Like this one too, I like. It bounces around and... Oops. Yep. Okay. Oh, good. I don't want the boost ball yet. How can I blow it up? Go. Making progress. Slowly. This again. Saving some screenshots. Or some clips. I need that shot upgrade. Whoa. Yeah, I wonder, shooting it in the eye disrupts it, but it probably just speeds this up. Yeah, yeah, Mahler had some good reaction in his commentary. I didn't like how that cut was predominantly negative. Like notice how they I think they only had one section where it showed the reactions to a boss. I meant, you know, it's meant to be for entertainment, so I get it. Ow. But it would have been nice to see them critically talk about any kind of positives. See, this is cool. I like how the attack cycle is speeding up. It makes the waiting for the next time to strike that much more intense. Inverted block. There we go. Oh, ow. I thought it was doing something else. I think what would change this boss up is if there was a point on it that you could always hit to damage it. Like, I don't know if I can actually damage it unless it does that animation. Like the eye could stun it, but then make that spot on its stomach visible so that when it's rolling around, if you can hit it, then it does damage. Ow. Oh, seriously? If I get hit by it, it does that? Open up with a charge shot. I should have been doing that all along. One more time. I've missed that opening charge shot like 5 times now. Oh, jeez. Melt the ice, melt the ice. There we go. Come at me. Yeah. Killed that Metroid that we're still not exactly sure why is here, but it is. Concord and SQ kill the Justice. Oh yes, yeah. Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. Did you see the Gender Swap Mr. Free? Yeah, I did see that. Kensuke wanted to conflict. He wanted a conflicting ending. He wanted the Federation focus and all the sacrifice fake outs. He wanted the story of the Lamorn to be what it was. to be honest, between Nintendo forcing Retro to keep the original concepts of their script version of this game and Kensuke's terrible ideas, Retro never had a fair shot with MP4. When EFIP decides they hate something, they tend to lose some objectivity for the sake of becoming a roast session, so I'm not surprised. One of the reviews did highlight about how this game had a troubled production. And basically how, like, they were years into it, and they basically had to restart. And that makes me wonder if Kensuke, like, wanted to have all of his ideas from the old in there. And then just didn't. Anyway, it feels like there's two ideas for a game here. What am I doing? Oh wait, I gotta go in here. And they like mesh them together. I still think that the motorcycle idea was just shoehorned in. I don't know whose idea that was, but that was a dumb idea. It looks really cool, don't get me wrong, but the game doesn't need the motorcycle. I'm convinced that if they got rid of the motorcycle and made the desert one large labyrinth biome, this game would be much better. Like, keep everything the same. Story, characters, that would still be a problem. People would bash it for its story. But, and keep the linear ends of the of the thing. Like, it would go from people saying that this game is trash to this game is, it's okay. Like, that would, and that's a big deal, I think. If they got rid of the motorcycle and made a labyrinth instead of the soul. A labyrinth biome that connects everything. Instead of the Soul Desert.
You've done well, Samus. I'll meet you up top.
I will say, because of the difficulty increase, the expansions are like a big deal. They feel much more like, oh, thank God. You know, I have some more ammo now to work with. Oops. Oh yeah, ditch the green rocks. Or make less of them. Just make less of them. Make it be like, we need the 10 green rocks. Or even 20. And put it in a labyrinth. You know, sprinkled with backtracking and puzzles and whatnot. Like, that's fine.
Samus. Looks like you got what
They
you
restarted,
came
but
for.
it is confirmed that Nintendo told Retro to keep the desert. Oh, keep the bike and keep the story, because there was already too much money. Oh, okay, I see. This confirmation came from Japan's Dream magazine, where Kensuke said that Retro had to keep all that stuff, which is insane. Okay, so it's not. So the problem is Nintendo, not Retro Studios. Which normally, given the state of a lot of development, normally I would be in favor of Nintendo retaining much more creative direction, and I guess I still am. But obviously in this case it didn't quite work out very well. So just can't win them all. this the wrong way? Oh yeah, it is the wrong way. I did this last time. Is he in there? Oh no, that's just another healing pod. Okay. This away. Charge it up with kinetic energy. Zeltroid, is there like a regular translation of Dream Magazine that comes out? Like, do fans translate it regularly, or is it just like when it's of interest? I'm curious. Or is there an English version? I appreciated how you didn't just pop it into Google Translate, because I lived overseas for a long time, and a lot of things get lost in translation if you don't understand like things about the culture and actually have someone who knows the culture translate it for you. So I appreciate you not just doing that when you made your analysis. Side note, Enfield is a lot of fun and quite addicting. The Factorio stuff really scratches that itch. Enfield. Amen, there's just so many games I want to play. Not enough time. Mostly retro. Still has 6 years to make it more intriguing. So they're not completely free from blame, but Foundation sucked from the beginning, and that's Nintendo's fault. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they could have... There's many ways they could have made the desert more interesting. And the bike more interesting. There isn't an English version from Japan, but Shine Sparkers is a great Metroid fan community, and they always do good translations for the articles. I'm waiting for their recent translation. Okay, that's cool. I'll have to follow them on whatever social media platform they use, or what website they have. The ice shot. They could have said like Sub-Zero chip. I felt very justified when I saw people, not just me or the EFAP guys, but also a lot of other people complaining about the naming conventions of all these things. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Yeah, and there's a trend with writing, especially in poorly written fantasy, to use like conventions, speaking conventions that are like, I don't know if the colloquial is the right word, but basically in our modern pop culture it works into the game. And when you have a fantasy or a sci-fi setting, if you do that too much, it really can break the immersion. Like, I think at one point Miles says booyah. Or like Sarge mentioning red velvet cake, which I thought was pretty funny. I don't know, there's just... This is a sci-fi setting, and sometimes when you work in writing that is not sensitive to the fact that you're in a different world and with different cultures. Like I remember reading I read a lot of Star Wars books years and years ago, and I read the Clone Commando series, and the author, I forget her name, but she worked in a lot of like expressions and did a lot of work to develop the Mandalorian culture that made it feel like they cursed in Mandalorian, or they did Mandalorian things and things like that. And it's sad that that Lucasfilm just basically did away with all of that and made it not canon. But anyway, there could be more of that going on here, I think. Which is, I think, the biggest problem that people had with Armstrong, is that she behaves too much like someone would behave, or how they think someone would behave in our world. And to a lesser extent, both Miles and Duke as well. It's a grapple node. Oh, I don't have a grapple. I have the lasso. Cheville. Good to see you. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cheville says, Silex boss fight seems too easy, even on hard mode compared to Dark Samus. They need to make this fight a bit more difficult if they make Prime 5. Interesting. I guess for me the fight was difficult because I somehow entered into it with like 4 E-tanks gone and they didn't refill my health, so I found it a little difficult. But I guess, yeah, if I had full health going into that, it would not have been very difficult. And I imagine, and I didn't even make use of the legacy suit. I just went in there and totally forgot about the legacy suit. And I did restart multiple times on the first part before I figured out how to do it optimally. But the second and third phase I was able to do pretty easily.
Congratulations, you got another teleporter.
This guy looks really sus. Yeah, modern writing. My favorite might be the green energy finder. Yeah, the green energy finder. Like, green energy is already lazy, then you add green energy finder. Couldn't call it radar or something like that. Yeah.
He's left, and it looks like you found more Lamorn technology in Icebelt. I might be able to
I
help
did.
you. Can you bring it back to base camp?
Sure, bud.
I saw the data you acquired. I can't believe the Grievers used to be Lamorn.
Yep, that's right. They were. Yep, okay. I also really don't. I didn't notice this the first time, but green crystals, they limit your green crystal intake, depending on what stage of the game you're in. So you can be like, I tried to get as many. As soon as I got access to the desert, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna spend some time and get green crystals, and there were like none. Certain sections of the desert, there weren't any, and I think. And they all just happened to be along the path that I had to go. Which was, you know, an interesting way of guiding the player, but also, it's like, they don't want you to get too many too soon. Which I find annoying. Especially when, like, Metroid Dread programmed in sequence breaks. And, like, rewarded you for sequence breaking the game. This game is, like, actively trying to force you along this set path. Because my idea was that I could try and get the legacy suit before entering the mines, and I don't think it's possible. Bees. I accidentally activated the legacy suit in the fight with him earlier in the week. I forgot how to do it. Yeah, yeah, I didn't even think about it. You know why? Because the first time we actually are able to use it, like required to use it, is maybe in that fight, because you get it and then you're ready to go to fight him. So I mean, they don't really give you, I guess, an opportunity unless you go 100% the game and remember it. But by that point, you're so strong you don't even need to use it because it's primarily defensive. Like, it would be really useful in the Omega Griever fight, but I don't know. They only want you to use it during Silux. Low-key, that was your fault, though. The game was like, are you sure you're... It's true. Twice, and you still didn't save and replace your offers. That's true. Yeah, that was my fault. You sure about that? You look a little tired. Maybe go save your game. And I even complained about it not warning me, and then it warned me twice, so I was like doubly wrong there. I'll admit that one. You're right. That was my fault. Oh, this game is so hard. It's all my fault. Green Energy Finder. Could you imagine that it was a perk from an Amiibo? Oh my gosh, that'd be awful. It's like the EA exec that wanted you to charge players real money to reload. Oof. Yeah. Or it's like in in gacha games, they intentionally limit how much time you can play unless you pay more money. You know, it's not a good sign that this stuff is creeping into AAA, like more and more AAA games. Like, yeah, I get that the music behind the Amiibos is like not that big of a deal, but like we could see more of that at some point. You know, it was that Jeff Bezos article that was going around about how eventually we'll just, I think it was like, we'll own machines that just connect to the internet and we'll buy bandwidth or rent, like we already do that now, but basically you won't really have a hard drive. Everything will be stored remotely. You know, I don't like where the future of gaming or computing is going. Yeah, it is true. I was too stubborn to reload and go through that 20-minute walking phase. Freeze him up with the ice shot. Thanks, Miles. You got the knockoff of me, doesn't it? Say driving around the desert, the music's so much more enjoyable. Okay, I'll look into it. Is it like the cards? I have the knockoff ones for Breath of the Wild. Eamon says, despite all the hate the Diablo Immortal got, don't you guys have phones? Apparently the game made more money in the first... Yep, exactly. Yep, that's right. That is 100% right. Sorry, I don't know why I did that twice. Yeah, don't you guys have phones? And then... It's concerning. It's... I don't... There's enough whales out there to really keep the game going, and people will pay for it. Was it Josh Strife that broke down Diablo Immortal? And how, like, predatory it is? And, you know, if you have the money, if you have the disposable income, like, I could totally understand how you could, you know, just sink hundreds and thousands of dollars into the game. Okay. But yeah, I really think, I don't know, maybe there'll be like another video game crash or something. That will force a restructuring of the industry. But honestly, I think what would delay it is Team Cherry releasing a game every 8 years that almost makes Game of the Year, and they charge you they charge you $20 for it. We just need Team Cherry to come in every now and then and rebalance things. Like, they really, man, for the if there ever was a phrase that applies to game development of like they did it for the love of the game and the love of video games, Team Cherry deserves more accolades for that. They could have made that game $40 and it still would have, people still would have been like, "Oh man, it's only $40." And people would have bought it. I'm saving again just in case. I am pushing my playtime. It's Saturday. My kids were up late talking in their room, so I'm hoping that they're gonna sleep in a little bit. So I'm pushing it a bit. We'll see. I might have to end suddenly, so just be aware of that. If they start banging on the door and want breakfast. I don't know if this is right, but YouTube is saying I've got 28 viewers right now, and that's pretty cool. If that's right, I've never had that many viewers. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see clips of my games, of my gameplay, definitely hit that subscribe button. I've never said that before, I don't think, so it's my first time doing it. And then watch the numbers just drop. Down to 1. Yes, yeah, these are like coins. I got all 3 of the eBay for $6. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Asma, Josh Strife, Hayes, and Charlie. You could buy Pal World, Silksong, and Expedition 33 for less than $100, yet gaming studios lose their minds trying to convince everyone that $100 is the new normal. Oh man, especially for the garbage that Star Wars Outlaw was. That was insane. Like, people... I don't know... This is like why I think my theory that like audiences can be trained to consume slop just because it's slop, and why you do need video game critics to voice their opinions about things. We need more of it. We need more people speaking up of all of this to kind of convince people to take a hardline stance against these predatory practices, because otherwise all games are going to go that way. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to be 80 years old with my SNES Classic that I'm going to mod at some point. Playing good old Donkey Kong Country. Enjoying the good old days. And I will identify with Cranky Kong more and more as I get older. Alright, where am I going now? I got the ice shot now. I can go back to the volcano. Oh, but there's an ice thing over here. Hello. Hello, little guy. Come here. I need to scan you. Why can't I scan it? Oops. Alright, never mind. Get him later. I know. Yeah, man. Those rare games in the days of the N64 were something real special. I really do. I do have a desire right now to play like a game structured like those older games with like the hub world and the goofy graphics, like another Banjo-Kazooie. If you guys know a good Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successor, maybe I'll work it in. Once I finish Prime 4 for good, I'll move on to probably Resident Evil 9 when it comes out. But I do wanna maintain. I'm thinking about doing like a Metroid Mondays sort of thing, like always have a Metroid game going because I love the series, and I do want to finish Metroid Prime 3. So I might do that, a Metroid Mondays type thing. Like have Metroid on Mondays and then maybe another day out of the week devoted to like indie games. Specifically indie game demos, because as I don't have much reach now, obviously, but as I get more and more reach, I do want to have, I do want to help out these indie developers, because I think that they're a big part of saving the industry and saving the quality of games overall. So having a day devoted to indie game demos, a day devoted to Metroid, and then the rest of the time will be devoted to like the main game I'm playing, which next will be Resident Evil 9. I'll turn off the lights so it's scary when I play, and I can get those sweet views from jump scare clips. You got the bongo Kong rap. I never played that bongo game. It would make a good outro. Yeah, I gotta add some music to my outro so it's not just game clips. The spiritual successor for Banjo was Yooka-Laylee, made by ex-members of Rare that founded the new studio. Oh, thank you, Eamon. I will check that out. I saw that the guys who made Croc, I think it was the guys, they made another Croc game that released on Steam, so I was tempted to play that. I don't know. I'm still thinking a lot about how to actually like run this channel, because I know Zeltroid, you split your channels between Zelda and Metroid for the algorithm, and I know I don't want to have like too much going on, but I'm still so new to this online space. I feel like I have to figure it out. That's why I want to keep a Metroid game going at all times, and also I love Metroid. I love playing Metroid, so that won't be that bad of a that's not a very bad thing to do, you know. do do. All right, making progress. I feel like now that I'm beyond that ridiculous Cybot fight in the Forge, hard mode is, I think, more enjoyable. Even though I'm musing more and more about the negatives of this game. I should have just gone to the thing and oh, whatever. That is always annoying. I shouldn't have to do that every time. That's not a puzzle. It's just a... whatever. It's not a big deal. Until you have a lot of things that are not a big deal, and then it becomes a big deal. I'm also wondering if I should, like, change my overlay. Like, do you guys like this? I think it looks cool with the blue and the frame and the stuff on it. But I noticed that a lot of people, they just put the they put the gameplay as like the big screen and their face is somewhere else. I thought it would be beneficial for you guys to see the whole screen. But you know, we'll see. Aha. Yes. Holy crap, these blueprints made the players for Enfield are nuts. I'll have to check those out. Yeah, it sucks how much the algorithm forces you to hyper-focus on one thing at the same time. If people connect, and at the same time people connect to you and your personality, that might not matter as much. So you're saying I just have to have a likable personality. Oh man, what I've been doing my whole life. Easy peasy. I wonder if there's videos out there that, I bet you there are. There's some YouTube tutorials on how to have a likable personality. What's that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that some serial killer was like his favorite book? These guys make me feel like I'm in Mad Max or something. And I can't remember if it was in one of your videos, Zeltroid, or someone else's, that they were saying that there really isn't a spiritual successor to Metroid Prime. Or the Prime series. Like, there really isn't another first-person platformer that's popular, at least. So I'd be interested to see if there are any indie games out there, because there's a ton of indie games out there that don't get any recognition. So if you know of any that are like, hey, this is basically the spiritual successor to Metroid Prime, I'd be interested in that. Alright, where am I going here? The wrong way, that's where I'm going. The flare pool, that's where I gotta go. To meet everybody's favorite character. I guess that could apply to all of them. I'm surprised to see that most people, their favorite character was Takabi, which at the beginning of the game, that wasn't my favorite. He wasn't my favorite character, but I actually did begin to like him with those little interactions you had with him in the desert. Another missed opportunity to have Samus build a deeper bond with one of the characters. that she eventually abandons. Oh, Miles is like, hey, you're taking too long.
I believe upgrading the biome will allow you to unlock additional functions of the biome. Want to try visiting the version?
No, I don't want to open the map. But I will to get rid of that. Oh, are you serious? That's right, I have to go back over there. That's annoying. Alright, we'll go get the upgrade and then we'll call it a day, but yeah. Might have to end a little abruptly just so people know. I'm pushing it now with my timing. How to make friends, the Hannibal Lecter edition. I'm gonna see what's in here. Step 1, invite them over for dinner. Zeltroid says, like, you're a streamer who people like. Oh, that's... I hope so. Otherwise, I'm doomed. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. I can't do that yet. They'll tune in for you. My content's very personal. It makes sense that people are strictly... okay. That is true. How to make... Okay, step 1, invite them over to dinner. Like, I like Metroid and you're streaming it, but a lot of people are streaming Metroid right now. The reason I stayed on is because your chill personality and unique perspectives about game design. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I am trying to do my best to make sure I'm not just, like, talking out of my butt when it comes to this game design stuff. Like, I didn't go to school for it. I am a programmer, so I have that going for me. But storytelling and game design just really fascinate me. So I'm hoping that comes out in what I'm saying. And yeah, there will be some silly moments for sure that are just talking about stuff, but I do hope that I can, you know, improve the discourse on gaming online. Add what's already there. There's some really great stuff online already. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So stop crapping yourself. I don't care if you weren't cool in high school. You're cool on streams. Thanks, man. I was not a cool kid in high school, but me and all the other not cool kids would get together and play Super Smash Brothers after school. And I was captain of the Ultimate Frisbee team. So I had that going for me, I guess. Apparently the game Journey to the Savage Planet is a Metroid Prime game. If Samus had a sense of humor, might be worth checking into. Oh yeah, I'll look into that. J-Man over here theory crafting his first gaming project that he's totally gonna get crowdfunded because before the end of the year. You know what, maybe if I like lose my job or something, or AI takes over and I can't make anything. I don't know. Everyone in my industry right now is freaking out about AI. And I'm sure if you're a programmer listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I know I'm good for the rest of the year, based on how contract goes, and I'm praying my company has something else. Like, our project's set to end in September, so everyone on my team is going to be in the same boat, just hoping that our company has stuff lined up for us. So we'll see. But yeah, I would if I could go back, if I could do it again, I would totally get into game design. I'd do a lot of things. I was not a very good student. My thirst for learning and gaining skills and knowledge came way too late in life, I think. It wasn't until I was almost married that I was like, oh, I can learn about this stuff and I can study it, and I don't know. And now that I have the thirst for that knowledge and skill development, you know, I got a full family, which I wouldn't trade for anything. But just gotta do what you can. Pulled off a career change, so I'm happy with that. And I really enjoy streaming. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I got sidetracked. I was supposed to go to the Volt Forge. I'm sorry. Can you write C# in the Unity game engine framework? I can't write C#. I could probably read it. I know I originally got trained in Python and Django to make websites, which gave me a good base for programming, but it actually didn't really help me get a job. I mean, it did. It did help me get a job, because then I took a test for learning Java, and then they put me in a training group to learn a low-code program called Appian. It's kind of like Salesforce. So that's what I work in now. But learning another language is appealing to me. I have Unity installed on my system here, but you know, I don't have the time. This is my free time right now, like what I'm doing. So if I devote time to learning something, it has to take time away from this, you know, or time away from my family. So, you know, it's just what I have to determine what I'm going to spend my time on. You know, and I will say that, like, me doing streaming is not, I'm not doing it because I enjoy it is definitely one reason I'm doing it, but I do hope to get monetized one day. I do hope to make some extra income doing this, because we need it. Things are really expensive right now, especially if you have a house with a wife and 3 kids. So I can't say that I'm totally selfless in my motivation to do streaming. It's nice that it's actually a lot of fun, and I like hanging out with you guys. It's way more fun when you have people to hang out with and talk about stuff. Okay. Got the upgrade. Kill that guy. Now we'll go back to the Volt Forge. And get my hover bike that is only used in the Volt Forge and nowhere else. There's the big tree. At least they have landmarks, you know? Like there's the mountain.
To unlock all those additional features, want to try visiting Forge?
Tree of Life. I'll get that later. Excuse me. We'll get to the Volt Forge, I'll save, and then we'll call it for today. I can hear some rumblings on the other side of the door. It's pancake day. Pancakes and bacon. And we're supposed to get hit by this big freeze, so everyone's kind of freaking out. And I'm from Boston, where it's like below freezing for months at a time, but none of the infrastructure down here in Texas can handle it. So things will shut down. So we're gonna have a cozy day at home, play some board games with the kids, maybe watch some movies with some hot chocolate. I don't know, it'll be good. I don't know, is anybody else going to get hit by this big winter weather stuff going on? I hate this. I hate how I can't... Can I reverse? No. Okay. Let's get in there and save. I don't think I can get that yet. Oof, my family up in Boston just texted. It's -4 degrees up there. Man, living in Texas, I gotta say though, I miss the cold. It's so hot down here. Okay, let's see. Just gotta start covering politics. That'll bring in the cash flow along with death threats. That was some of the advice I got. Just say things that make people angry. There you go. Side note, Palworld developer Pocket Pair requires game design candidates to provide screenshots of their Steam libraries and playtime according to... Okay, yeah, that's good. They gotta actually play games. We asked game designer candidates to submit screenshots of their playtime. Okay, in fact, if you don't play games on Steam at all, you won't make it past the screening stage. Wow. I like that practice. I want someone to mod the original Prime trilogy and put Miles in. each of them, as he spoon-feeds you directions information. I think that will really put things in perspective. That's a great idea. The villain arc for Zeltroid. Yeah, we're supposed to get hit. The whole winter storm is underwhelming thus far. I lived in South Dakota for years, so yeah, I miss the cold too. People in Texas are pansies about the cold. Alright. I think we're gonna call it there. Amen, Zeltroid. And we had someone new comment earlier. What's their name? Cheville. Thanks for hanging out. That was a lot of fun, guys. Newer viewers, thanks for watching. I stream every day, almost every day, from 4:45 a.m. Central Time to about 6 usually. Today I went a little long. It's Saturday. I'm primarily doing Metroid games right now, but as I said, Resident Evil 9 is coming out soon, so I'm going to stream that as soon as it comes out. I saved up some money and sold some stuff to buy that. But I do hope to continue to do Metroid games, Resident Evil 9 games, Resident Evil 9, and we'll take it from there. So, yeah, subscribe if you like it. Follow me on X. I'm on a ton of different platforms, X, Instagram, as you can see in my little thing at the bottom. Those are where I post my shorts, but I stream to YouTube, X, and Twitch, and Kick. So, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll most likely be on tomorrow. So, anyway, have a great day. Stay safe in the storm, and I'll see you later.